everyone. Welcome to Lorraine Corbanic Fitness. I'm Lorraine, and today we're going to do a beautiful yoga class outside. So of course you don't have to be outside to join me in this practice, but I hope you enjoy the scenery while you are taking part. We're going to start today in hero's pose, so taking the feet together, the knees together, and just sitting. So let's go ahead and just find ourselves settled into this position. Feeling the sitting bones rooting down onto the heels and lifting up through the torso. Aligning the pelvis, neck, and head, lifting up through the crown. Beginning just to feel yourself settled onto your mat. Begin to slowly cultivate a nice deep breath, inhaling and exhaling out through the nostrils. Allowing yourself the freedom of just unclenching the jaw and allowing the face to be soft. Noticing the breath as it fills up the chest as well as the belly, and softening with each exhale. I invite you to let go of all the stresses and worries that are on your mind. Inhale, let the mind relax. Exhale, let the body relax. Noticing the body here, the legs folded beneath you. How do they feel this morning? The torso, head, neck, shoulders lifting upwards. Hopefully a feeling of lightness today. Allow yourself these next moments here on your mat to just be, to just feel, to just experience. Releasing all that which doesn't serve you at this point in time. Let's take 3 more nice deep inhale breaths through the nostrils, exhaling out the mouth in a loud sigh. And then softly fluttering the eyes open. Wow, beautiful. Sitting up nice and tall, you can release your hands out to the sides. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, stretching through the fingertips, maybe lifting the chin. And as you exhale, softly floating the arms back down to the sides, maybe dropping the chin down towards the chest. Inhale, palms faced up towards the heavens. Leave the left arm up. And as you exhale, float the right arm down towards the ground, still lifting up through the left. Inhale, reach that right arm up, reaching towards the sky. And as you exhale, palm face down, left hand comes down towards the mat. Inhale, let's lengthen that hand up towards the sky. Exhale, softly float the opposite arm down towards the mat. Let's do one more. Inhale, palm up, reach. And exhale, opposite hand down. Good job, everybody. Inhale, that left arm up. Let's take those hands together. Exhale, bring them down to heart center. Let's pause here. Thumbs pressed into sternum, release the shoulders onto the back body. From here, we're just going to softly bend forward at the waist. Coming into child's pose here, taking the forehead down to the mat. Let's wrap our hands back around the feet. And simply resting in this pose, softening through the body, feeling the back nice and broad, stretching the shoulder blades apart. Two more breaths here in our child's pose variation, sometimes called embryo pose. And on your next inhale breath, slowly raise the body up, back to a seated position. Really nice, everybody. Let's walk our hands forward into tabletop position. We'll plant those hands right underneath the shoulders, separating the knees until they're right underneath the hips. Let's tuck those toes under. From here, as you inhale, pulling the chest through the shoulders, lifting up the tailbone and the chin. And as you exhale, pull the belly into the spine, round through the back, dipping chin towards the chest. Inhale, slowly rolling the body through. Oh, that feels so good. Hello. I hope you can see that duck out there on the water. Exhale, roll back, rounding the back, the shoulders. Inhale, we come through, opening up the throat and the chest. Exhale, pulling navel up to spine, tucking tailbone under. Let's continue in this way for 2 or 3 more rounds here. Eyes are opened or closed. Listening to your body, watching your breath as it courses through the body, informing your practice. So nice, everybody. Oh my goodness, this is just so nourishing. I wish you could be right here with me. Let's come back to a neutral spine here. Take any little extra bit of movement that might feel nice for you here. Then we're going to kickstand our left foot out to the side. From then, the right leg can go long along the middle of the mat. Inhale as you sweep the right arm up towards the sky, looking up past the extended fingertips. Beautiful. And then from there, go ahead and let that arm drift over top of the head, becoming one nice big long line, maybe even arching, creating lots of space in the rib cage. Oh, breathing, settling into your modified side plank. Take an inhale to lift the right arm up towards the heavens and exhale to float it back down towards the mat. We'll take this over to the opposite side, so come back into your tabletop pose. And then kickstand the right leg out, planting the right foot. Left leg goes long on the mat. Inhale to sweep that left arm up towards the sky. Reaching through the fingertips, and then perhaps, if it feels good for the body, reaching up over top of the head. Maybe arching the body, making the arms and legs long, creating almost like a rainbow with the body. And then inhale to sweep that left arm up. Take an exhale breath to float it back down towards your mat. Coming back into our tabletop pose. From there, sliding the hands up the mat, tucking toes under. Let's take our first downward facing dog of the day. Feel free here to take a little bit of movement in the legs. Perhaps we'll take an inhale breath to lift up the heels and an exhale breath to lower them down towards the mat. Remembering that if the heels don't meet the mat, just let it go, it's okay. Beautiful, pressing into all 10 finger pads, allow the chest to melt down towards the mat. Release the head and neck. From here, stay planted on the left foot. We'll inhale to sweep the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it right into the nose. Holding here for just a breath, and then planting the foot between the hands. We'll go ahead and drop the left foot down towards the mat, onto the mat, pulling inner thighs together. Inhale as you sweep the arms up overhead. Low lunge. Let's go ahead and release arms down into cactus arms, just softly bent at the elbows. Still feeling that nice, big, beautiful breath. Deep and full. Staying here, or if you'd like to take a little bit of movement, we'll inhale and slightly come into a back bend, and exhale to draw the elbows together, rounding through the back. Inhale, we'll open and lengthen. Exhale, closing in, feeling the stretch in the back body. Let's take one more here. Big inhale. And exhale, close. Let's inhale and sweep the arms up overhead, and on the exhale breath with palms facing forward, we'll just frame that front foot, step back into our downward facing dog, and take again whatever movement feels good for your body here. Coming over onto the opposite side, take the weight onto the right foot. Inhale to lengthen the left leg up. Exhale, draw that left knee all the way into the chest or into the nose, and then softly planting it between the hands. Dropping the right foot down, or the knee rather, to the mat. Pull those inner thighs together, square out those hips, and then releasing fingertips from the mat. Inhale to sweep the arms up overhead. Low lunge on the opposite side. Again, we stay here if you're comfortable and happy with low lunge, arms extended. Otherwise, you can bend into cactus arms. We begin with our inhale breath. Exhale, close into the space. Long, deep inhale with your soft back bend. Exhale, slowly bringing elbows together. Let's take one more. Inhale, open. Exhale, close elbows together. Feel the rounding through the back. And then on the next inhale, open the arms up overhead. Exhale to float them softly down. We're going to frame that front foot. Let's come into plank here. So as you step the left foot back, come into your plank. Remember, you can always modify by simply dropping the knees and leave them where they land. If you want to stay in full plank, join me here. We're going to press through those heels, release shoulders away from the ears, and just hold the pose. It should feel really nice. Beautiful. So again here, if you'd like to stay in stillness, you're welcome to. If you'd like to join me for a little bit of movement, we'll come into a little bit of a body saw, so coming up onto the toes, shifting the body forward. Exhale, we come back. Inhale, let's move forward up onto those toes. Exhale, pressing back through the heels. One more here. Inhale, lengthen out through the crown. Exhale, come on back. And then let's shift into downward facing dog again. So many interesting sounds coming when we're outside. Very different from a yoga practice indoors. So you may have noticed I just really gently released the shoulders onto the back body. Again, we love to be out in nature when we do yoga, but it becomes a little bit harder to block out the distractions. There are so many noises, but they are wonderful. So from here, let's come into high lunge, rooting down through the left foot. Inhale, sweep that right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, bring it all the way through, planting it quietly between the hands. We'll keep that back leg nice and straight. And just make sure here before you come up that your front foot isn't right in front of the back foot. It's not on one big straight line like a skateboard. It's more like you're on train tracks. Pulling inner thighs together. Inhale to sweep the arms up, high lunge. And just finding a pose here that really suits your body. If you get into position, you feel that you're just too low, you can take a little step forward with that back leg, finding the high lunge that really suits your body. Pressing back through the back heel, feeling rooted down through the front foot, reaching up through those fingertips, and just enjoying the beautiful body that you've been given. So from here, we're going to come into pyramid pose. So go ahead and release the hands down to the side. We'll step the back foot forward just a tiny little bit so it can plant firmly on the heel. We'll straighten the front leg. And from here, maybe just hands on the waist, taking a nice flat back posture, inhaling up through the crown of the head, and as you exhale, nice and softly with that flat back, hinging forward at the waist. Maybe pausing when your back is parallel to the ground. Now, if you have some blocks here and you'd like to use them, go ahead and reach down with those hands, find the blocks, and if you don't need the blocks, your hands can come all the way down to the mat. Feeling that glorious stretch all the way up the leg. And if you want to release the head, feeling free to release the head to the knee, but not out of a sense of pride, trying to see how far you can take a stretch, but because it feels right in your body, because you're experimenting and noticing how open the body can get, how good it can feel. So trying to move away from the show part of yoga that some people get entrapped into. Beautiful. So from here, we're actually going to protect that knee. We're going to bend into it, then take hands off the blocks of the ground, bringing them back up to the waist. Inhale, press up through that front heel, coming back up to a standing position. Not always easy when you're on water as I am. Awesome. Let's just take a step forward. Beautiful. Shake out the hips if they need it. Just simply going to turn around here and go in the opposite direction, standing with feet hip distance apart. Inhale, sweep the beautiful hands up, opening up the throat. Exhale, swan dive. Let the chest lead as you bring your hands all the way back down to the mat. From here, we'll just walk those hands out into our downward facing dog. Again, taking whatever movement or head shakes that feel good for you, setting up on the opposite side for our high lunge. Planting the weight on the right foot this time. Inhale, sweep the left leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, sweep it through the hands, planting it right in between the palms. All right, let's pull those inner thigh muscles together. Keep that back leg nice and straight, and when you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Again, if you find yourself super low and that's not where you want to be, take a little step forward. Make any adjustments you need. We rarely get into a yoga pose, our asanas, right away, perfectly on the first time. We've got to let go of that whole idea of perfection anyway. Beautiful. Really nice, everybody. Energetically reaching up through those fingertips, pulling the inner thighs together, keeping the hips nice and square. So here with the left foot forward, your left hip is pulled back, right hip pulled forward. And then again, if you need to take a little step forward, you can. We're going to straighten out that front leg, release the hands down to the waist. From here, start with that inhale breath. When you're ready to exhale, go ahead and hinge forward at the waist, nice and slow. Lots of control here. And then if it feels good, once again, you can release the hands down to the mat, down to your blocks. And remembering as well that one side is often more tight than the other side. So be kind to your body. Try to release the expectations that one side will be the same as the other. Soften the upper body. Let it just drape over top the bottom part of the body. Again, you can always shake out the head. And then from here, well, let's bend into that left knee, that front knee. Pick up the hands on top of the waist. And then inhale, rise that upper body up. Good job. Big step forward, coming into Tadasana at the top of the mat. Let's just go ahead and take a little moment here. You can release the hands either down to the sides or bring them up to heart center. We'll We'll just find a moment of stillness and peace. Find your breath. Soften through the facial features. Notice what your feelings are at this time. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere. Maybe place a little smile on those lips. And once again, we can release the hands down to the sides. Beautiful. Let's turn sideways on our mat. I'm going to take a large step out to the side, almost as if we were coming into a wide-legged forward fold here, which we're not going to do, but your feet are parallel faced forward. From here, you can either put hands out to the sides at shoulder height, or you can just place the hands onto the waist as I'm doing here. Rolling the shoulders back, let the chest be nice and wide open. And from here, take an inhale breath up through the crown of the head, and as you exhale, we're going to bend into that right knee, shifting the hips back, just coming down nice and low. You can release the hands down to the side. Now, I'm going to just shimmy my feet out a little wider. And then taking that opposite foot and just giving it a nice flex. Toes are up towards, I won't say ceiling again, up into the sky. Taking a little bit of a surfer's lunge here. And now if you have blocks, you can put your hands on your blocks if you like. I've just got mine tented on the ground here. Beautiful. A lovely stretch for the inner thighs today. And then we're just going to walk our hands over to get to the other side. So take a big inhale breath. Start to shift your weight over to the opposite side, flexing in to the opposite foot. Yeah, really nice, everybody. Trying to let go of that feeling that you always have to be looking at your yoga teacher and doing it exactly the way they're doing it, and really just being more intuitive and listening to your body and how it wants to move, and if you need to make any adjustments, making them. Let's take a nice big inhale breath and go back to the first side. Beautiful. This time let's go ahead. So with my right knee bent, I'm going to plant my right hand right in front of my chest, or underneath my chest rather, and on a next inhale breath, sweep the left arm up towards the heavens, reaching up through fingertips, creating length and space, finding something to be grateful for today. Maybe it's the blue sky, the sunshine, your health. Exhale as you soften that hand back down towards the ground. Inhale, walk the hands over to the opposite side, planting the left hand. This time, inhale, sweep right arm up, lengthening, maybe repositioning the hands if you need. Again, feeling the full body stretch here, lengthening up through the side body, softening the shoulder that's beneath you. Oh, that sun feels magnificent. I'm so grateful. And then exhale, bringing the hand back down towards the ground. From here, let's just take our hands behind us. Really easy for us just to shift right down onto our bottoms here. Going to come into butterfly pose, so taking the soles of the feet together. Now, the gentle version of butterfly, put your hands behind you, shimming the heels still in as close towards the groin as you can. And then just lifting the chest, pressing into the palms just slightly, rolling the shoulders back just slightly, opening up the throat, maybe lifting the head all the way skyward. Maybe bending into elbows to lean back just a little. Noticing if the teeth are clenched. Maybe playing around with what it feels like to press the feet together as opposed to just letting them hang loose. And then as you softly exhale, dropping the chin. If you'd like to come forward, you can bring the hands onto the feet, maybe wrapping them around the toes. Again, keeping the shoulders back and down, and allowing those knees to really fall apart to either side. And then if you'd like to come forward, let's just walk those hips back a tiny little bit. Inhaling, we find our length. Exhaling, we very slowly start hinging forward. Here comes a train. softening the brain, softening the breath, releasing everything you don't need today, anything that may be holding you back. Inhale, slowly start to lift the head, neck, shoulders, and torso. We'll take those hands underneath each knee, draw them together. We're going to come onto the back body, so let's go nice and long here, extending the legs down the middle of the mat. Rolling down the spine to come all the way down. From here, with the feet on the mat, I'm going to take them about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, maybe not quite as wide as the mat. Hands can be down by the side, or maybe one hand on heart, one hand on belly. Drawing the navel in towards the spine, you'll feel that lower back flatten against the mat. And from here, you can just softly, on the exhale breath, let your knees wash over to one side. If you feel like you don't have enough support because the hands are on the body, you can certainly take them into cactus arms or straight out to the sides. Inhale, let's draw the knees up to center, and as you exhale, drop them slowly over to the opposite side. And if you like to involve the head and neck here, I always like to turn my head in the opposite direction of my knees. So when my knees go to the right, my head goes over to the left. Oops. Here comes the wind. Inhale, pick up the knees. Exhale, drop them over to the opposite side. I think I did mention we're not perfect, right? Neither are recordings, not from me anyway. Inhale, bring the knees up through to center. Go ahead and extend the left leg right in the center of the mat and draw the right knee into your chest. Slowly, gently bringing it right in. Feel free here maybe to point and flex the feet. Maybe circle out the ankles. And then let's just exchange legs. Extend the right leg nice and long on the mat. Draw that left knee into the chest. Nice and slowly. All the way through that first exhale breath. And maybe finding some movement in that foot, the ankle. It's very hard not to smile when we're outdoors. My goodness, this is so beautiful. Definitely finding my joy here. Even if you don't have this beautiful sunshine when you're doing this class with me, I hope it's coming through the video to you. Go ahead and extend the left leg long on the mat, coming into our final pose of Shavasana. Allow your legs to flop apart. The hands can come down to the mat beside you, leaving a little room for airflow. And here we just allow the entire length of our body to soften and relax, grow heavy. Feeling that big, beautiful breath, filling the belly, the chest, the rib cage up. With each inhale and with each exhale, softening once again. Eventually feeling your body almost come to a place of perfect stillness. The breath just comes back to being natural, with no effort required. Let's stay here just listening to the sounds of nature for the next couple of minutes. Maybe pausing there for just a moment. Never want to get up too quickly. Maybe using that hand to press yourself up to a seated position. Again, there's no rush. Maybe taking hands to heart center here. Maybe a soft bow of the head. As always, it's been such a pleasure to lead you through your practice. I hope that you've found something that nourishes your soul. I hope you have a lovely day, my friends. Come back again.